Yep.
Right. Now then, Carl, how you doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm alright, mate. Just got back from offshore. Tired. Pushing along. What have you been up to this week?
Not really, mate. To be fair, just working.
Working?
Grafting.
How's work going?
All right, mate. To be fair,
You're
decent.
juicing, aren't you? That's the latest thing you're doing at the minute.
Semi-juicing now.
So, what's juicing? Tell me what it is.
What do you mean?
Well, what's your aim of juicing?
Aim of juicing. Lose shitloads of weight in like the most minimum amount of time. In a nutshell.
So, what do you actually do?
So it's like 4 juices in a day, as well as like some soup and that. But it's like some of them are minging. It's like fennel, celery. What else is some of the others are minging with ginger. Shot like a centimetre of ginger and soup. Some of them are minging, but the other ones are alright. That's fair. Some of them like yogurt, berries and stuff. It's pretty decent.
So, what do you? So, you just continuously juice stuff down with a mixer, or
So you'll pretty much have.
just bring
By the
that-
way,
bring that little
it's
bit
promo code
Oh.
Khyle Black ILLICIT 20 for 20% off. I'm an ambassador now. An ambassador. No, so pretty much, mate. Wake up in the morning and have like water with like lemon or whatever, hot water with lemon, and then have like a juice in the morning. So some it'll be like just like cucumber, carrot with like orange stuff like that. Like it's literally every day. It's like all different ones, and then at like 11, 12, whatever you'll have like another one. So it goes like smoothie, juice, and then you'll have like soup on the night.
What's
like
the difference
butternut
between a
squash and
smoothie and a juice?
stuff. So a smoothie and that'll be like thicker, really thick, whereas the others are literally like it's like having a juice, whereas the others like where it's thick, like they'll have ice in them and stuff like that. So
What? So, do you just do it in the morning?
in the morning one, like some of them I've been doing at the minute, it's like muesli, berries, it's like strawberries, blackberries, yogurt, and something else, can't remember. So you'll have that, then you'll have, I think it's more like a settle your stomach kind of thing. So you'll have that settle your stomach, then you'll have a juice a bit later, then you'll have something to settle your stomach, then a juice, then a soup. So it kind of, rather than doing like thicker ones in the morning and starving in the afternoon, just doing like juice.
Don't you just end up with shitloads less energy? Because obviously, you're reducing your calories substantially. Yeah, like to next to nothing. Just having it's more or less just having vegetables all the time. Like so, that's your main like fuel source. It's just fruits. So it's like sugars and like low amount of carbs. So you're just using. I just can't imagine.
Well, yeah, well, some of the stuff though, like the soups and stuff, to be fair, it's like sweet potato and stuff like that, and so you're getting still like a bit of kind of. Obviously, you're into it there, right? With stuff like potato and stuff, but none of it's solid though. Like it's all like.
So how long do you do it? So you do like a week of.
There's different ones. So you can do like a 14-day plan, 7-day plans, and like a month plan. So I was on it. It was a 2-week plan, but I did a week. So £8 in the week I did, and then obviously I was. On that weekend, I was at like funeral and stuff on Monday, so I didn't go there. But then I'm probably good. But I've just been eating having like the juice in the morning, and then just having like salad and stuff on a afternoon. Just trying to cut eating shit. But like when I was at work, I was having like because you get free like cans and stuff at work. So I'd be having like cans of like Coke and Dr Pepper and that. I'd be having like 4 cans a day.
And as well sitting down, innit?
Yeah, so having like 4 of them a day, and then eating like fucking chocolate bars, fruit pastels, shit like that. Whereas because of cutting that out, that's probably what's made me lose more weight because of not eating the shit.
So what's the heaviest you weighed?
Heaviest 13.
13. And how much have you lost?
Bowling ball.
I know.
Well, I know. I'm at the minute. So when I'd weighed, I was 12.8, and then I've then gone to it's 12. I've not weighed myself over the last like week, but I need to see what I think. I don't know if I've lost any. I think I'm alright. That's alright.
No.
So.
Do you think? Does
Yeah.
it sound clear? Yeah. Go on. Let's carry on.
So yeah, pretty much with that, I don't know how much I've lost since like 12 stone, but probably I just want to get like to about 11 and a half, whatever.
Is that your aim? 11.5 stone?
Yeah, instead of like being a bowling ball as wide as I am tall.
Yeah. Well, how much have I lost in the space of maybe a year? The heaviest I weighed was 15 stone. But the thing was, I didn't.
3 of that was hair and beard.
Yeah, but I didn't realise how big I was till I literally saw a photo of me. Like
You're not
I
massive though, but...
No, but considering, so now I'm just over 13, so I've lost like 2 stone in the space of just less than 2 stone in the space of a year and a bit. But I didn't realise it was happening. Some people used to say to me like randomly, "Oh, you've put on a bit of timber," and I didn't think anything of it. But I can't remember which photo it was.
It's one when you had your long hair in it.
Yeah, it was Mint Festival, and I looked at myself and I was like, Jesus Christ! I was wearing an oversized tee.
Hagrid.
Yeah, and I just thought I need to do something about this, but I didn't do it like a lot of people do like you're doing a crash diet sort of thing, but I just wanted to do it so it was steady away, because when I've done diets before, I just didn't stick to them.
Yeah, I always go from one to the other, so I'll be like, either I'll eat shit, or if I'll do that, I'll focus on it. But like, obviously, since after that, I've not been eating any shit. I've literally just been having like salads with like seafood and that. So I've been having like a lot of like prawns or tuna, like a lot of tuna and stuff.
I think the key is, do you let yourself have any cheat meals or anything like that?
Well, you do if when I was doing, because I've only done like semi. I'm not on like doing the juicing like thing now. I've kind of just half done it into my normal diet. Do you know what I mean?
So you
but
had
like that week when I was fully doing it, I was like, there was nothing. It was just literally that's what you're having. Like the most thing I had was the only solid thing. What it was spinach, avocado. Was it spinach, avocado, lettuce, and chickpeas salad.
Thing is, avocados surprisingly got shitloads of calories in as well, haven't they? So high in fat, but good
To
fats.
be fair, mate, I don't really eat avocados like normally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A bit too bitter for me.
not really. I do.
Yeah, but so with me, what all I did was just portion control was the thing for me. Like if I went and had a mix, so my meal was dependent on how big the plate was. If it was a big plate, then I was eating a lot. Yeah, and I just had no control. I never used to really I'd get full, but I just continuously eat, and yeah, just got to a stage where I was just putting on weight all the time. And I always found like, so especially in my job at work, there's 3 square meals a day. So breakfast, I'd have not a fry up as such, but more
Definitely a fry up.
but more or less like, you know, I'd have bacon, beans, egg.
Hash browns.
No. But then, so our meals offshore have not changed in like 20 years. Just speaking to people that have been there for a long while, and you got to remember, stuff's a lot more automated now. Compared to what it was before, everyone was swinging on valves and doing actual like full-on manual labour all the time. So the meals were high carbohydrate meals, like having a roast dinner every day. And
because you'd be outside, but
because
back doing Homer Simpson in a control.
Yeah, because well, that's the other thing. So back in the day, everyone was, like I say, swinging on valves and walking around like there was shitloads to do like manually. But now, because a lot more stuff's automated and a lot more paperwork's involved now, so there's a lot more stuff that's sat down. And I think the heaviest was 2016 going into 17, and I was training in the control room, and so I'd go offshore for 2 weeks and I'd be in a control room for 2 weeks, sat on my ass and still having them 3 square meals. So having like a roast dinner every day, tea time, big meals, rice, chili con carne, spaghetti bolognese, then having a little pudding as a little extra, because you know your food
Sounds banging.
I know, but the food offshore, that's one thing that you really look forward to. You know, it's pretty repetitive. You go to work at 5:30 in the morning, you finish at 5:30 at night, you have your food, you go to gym or whatever. Well, I didn't go to gym then, and then you go to bed. So it was just, food is something that you really, really look forward to. And I was just countlessly eating all them calories and just sat down for 2 weeks.
And then coming home and having a massive curry.
And then coming home and having curry, so it just built up over time. Another space of a year, like I say, I got to 15 stone. 15 stone out of nowhere. I just remember that photo at Mint Festival. I was like, you fat bastard. I thought I need to do something, especially been stood next to Hot since 82. Yeah, saw a photo of me and him. I thought, you know,
Fat since 82.
Oh, yeah, and I was wounded, and I thought I need to do something about it. Then over the course of a year, it was just literally portion control. I didn't exactly cut out loads of food, but I drank more water and just controlled the amount of calories I was eating. And it just slowly just went away. And until, what was it, last year, I got down to, what? I do it in kilograms. You hate kilograms, don't you?
It's all about stone and pounds.
It's all about stone. So I got to about from 96 kilos to 87-ish. And that's when I was like getting, and people started saying, oh, you lost some weight. And it gives you a little confidence. But instead of people turning to you saying, you fat bastard. What? I remember a kid having a go at me offshore.
Oh, you put weight on?
Yeah. I had a kid having a go at me offshore. I remember a kid called Liam was sat down in the smoker room and was like, what the hell happened to you? And I was like, what? He went, you used to be good looking back in the day, and now you just turned into this fat wallop.
Did you cry?
No, but it was a bit of a reality check, because you're thinking to yourself, fuck me, have I put on all that weight? So, yeah, and now I'm weighing up, I'll do stone just for you. So I'm anywhere between 13.5 and 13, about 13.3-ish. I think this is the weight I like to be at. I'm not asked about being muscly, I'm not asked about being super skinny. I just want to fit clothes and wear jeans and not look like a pear.
Body of a god,
Yeah,
Buddha.
nah. What's your aim then? What would you like to
I
get
don't know,
down
just
to?
probably about 11 and a half-ish, I reckon. When I used to play rugby and that, it was all like 11. I used to be like 11-2. So.
You been exercising or anything?
I've been back rugby training life for a while, because I've been doing all that pre-season, minging.
How is pre-season going?
Well, it's just kills you, doesn't it, when you start doing that.
Yeah, especially just going in gung-ho, and especially juicing, because you've reduced them calories so much.
To be fair, though, because I want hungry in that after. I've not been hungry after exercising, so I've not had like an appetite after that. Like when I have to play like rugby and that, I'd have like the salad, and I'd be halfway through the salad like I'm full of. And I was like, it was real weird. Like but the salads was massive portions, so it was like even though he was having it, it was I don't know like obviously the amounts what I was doing, but it's like when it's just like huge. Like if I looked at it, I'd be like, if I was having a normal salad, I wouldn't have that much. You're just looking, you're like, wow. But then again, you're not really with lettuce and spinach and that. You're not really many
I think
calories.
the only thing with you was not necessarily massive portions. Yours was sweets and things like that. So and pot noodles and stuff with high sugar in. I can't say I've ever really seen you have massive meals. Like I would have big portions. I would have a Sunday dinner, and I wouldn't even need an extra large plate because I just mound it. You was always sweets in your room.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and I think sugar's the worst thing. Although I think you can have your carbohydrates, you can have all that type of stuff. Even the odd fried stuff, it's the sugar that kills you. That's what makes you put on weight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was doing that and having like four things, like cans of like fizzy drinks, like your little Dr Peppers and shit. Yeah. It's like full of loads of sugar.
So how's pre-season going?
Well, there's no games yet that started. I think the first game's going to be in like 6 weeks. So.
What is it, Yorkshire League?
Yeah, it's Yorkshire. I don't know whether it's classed Division 1 or... Because they're waiting on now on the league at the minute, because I think there's been where... I think the Yorkshire League's going to be getting run, but it's going to be a majority of Hull teams, because I think there's not enough teams what are actually doing it. But they're trying to go for 2 squads, but there's been like 25 to 28 people training, which is quite decent for a
yeah, but you can.
But a lot of people drop off and
That's
stuff.
What I was just
like I didn't like last week. I couldn't go last week, so I didn't go last week. But
and then what happens is summer starts coming in, because it'll be summer league, I imagine, won't it?
Yeah, well, season starts end of March.
So what happens is people are on holiday, people end up with work commitments and stuff like that. So the numbers dwindle off. I wouldn't necessarily go full gun ho and have 2 teams from experience that I've seen.
Depends on how many people go, but I don't think it'll. They're probably just better off sticking with 1, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the rugby league scene's like. I always remember when I first started playing rugby. When I was younger, I'm talking like when I was 16, 17, so what's that, 3 years ago?
30 years ago.
So there was rugby teams everywhere, like, and everyone had multiple teams, loads of different age groups. I can't remember the last time.
I think Westall had one point, they had 3 teams. They had they had the first team, A team, and I think at one point, this was like years ago, this was when I was like under 13s or something. I'm sure they had like a 3rd team as well.
Yeah, it's just, I think there's
but Hull Enzians, when I've been playing at Hull, because I've played a couple of games for Hull Enzians at Union, like they used to have 4 teams. I think they've now. I was playing for the seconds, and I think that's their like thingy team now. Like they've only got the first and seconds. Like before, they used to have 4 teams and that. But I think like Hull Ionians and stuff, they have about 4 teams as well. It's mad when you think about it. Though,
Enzians and Ionians are all Union now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Saying that though, there's more support definitely in Hull for league than there is Union, but I just don't think they've had the investment over the years for the youth teams. I think Westall have always had
like their
sponsorships and stuff like that, so they'll be able to reinvest in like the clubhouse and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, some players there was even like at the open age was paying some of the players. Do you know what I mean? Who they got the purchasing ones from, either who's been semi-pro or like in the national, like Division 1 and that, people from like Hunslet and stuff. They'd like have them playing from, but they'd be paying them. They'd be getting paid like. I know it's not like massive amounts, but they'd be paying some of them £100 a game. But then the other people in the team will be paying subs. Yeah. So it's like, it's £4 subs.
So your subs are going straight to that guy.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? Yeah. It's outrageous when you think about it for amateur.
Yeah. Like, do Watky have an under 18s or anything like
that? I'm not too sure. I think I don't know about under 18s. I think they've got under 16s. I know Josh Burden, he's doing coaching for one of them now, isn't he? I think it's like under 13s. I think he's started to do.
Right, fair.
Yeah,
it's a shame really. I can't remember that when you see when you drive past like school fields or rugby pitches and stuff like that. I always remember that you used to have like lines and lines of rugby fields, and there'd just be multiple teams all playing at once and stuff like that. And that's
just
dead.
sat playing Fortnite now, mate.
Yeah, it's a shame. Really.
That's what it is.
And that's the same with football as well. I think sport in general has just really, really gone downhill because, like I say, kids are just playing Fortnite.
Well, like down, like I don't see, like my street's quite a quiet street, but I don't ever see like kids like running. I maybe see there's there's 3 kids what are down the street where I might see them in the garden when I'm coming home from work, you know, where they're just like pissing about in the street. But besides like that, you don't really see anyone playing out in the streets and stuff like that. Like when I was a kid, mate, you'd be going out playing fucking Realia, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the through German torture.
Yeah.
Petrol pumped.
The thing is though, they all just communicate with like literally online. It's literally headphones on, headset, and they're all talking to each other through Fortnite. And that's
like when I was doing that teaching in the schools when I was doing that, like loads of them, they'd be like, one of them, he was like staying on like things like staying up till like 3-4 in the morning, and we was like, he was coming to school like tired and that. They'd be like, oh, he's been playing up on Fortnite all night just with his mates online. And I'm like, that's not good for it. Like if you're not leaving your house and that's your only communication is through a headset, because you're not physically like in front of someone, are you? No. Like a lot of them get like a lot more younger people. I think like you notice are a bit more socially awkward. So like because they used to being behind keyboards and stuff like that, or.
Well, we even said the difference with promo staff from back in the day. You know, like people weren't afraid to go out in the street and flyer and talk to people and stuff like that. And now when you deal with some promo people, they're just so hesitant to want to interact with other people on the street and stuff like that. Even when you go into like, so say for example, if you're dropping off paper tickets and things like that, I don't know if you've noticed it.
Yes.
They're always dead, like nervous and
quiet.
Yeah, like scatty trying to give them a ticket. They're just.
And then they'll be back in the house.
I think, God knows what it's going to be like in 10 years' time.
Well, yeah, when it used to be like town was when I used to do it. That's what I started off doing, giving out free shots and flyering outside for Revolution and Jazz Bar and that. So I used to do like outside there, and there used to be there was me. You'd always be in pairs, but there was always like one at Revolution, one at Jazz Bar, one for Barracuda, one for Mint. I think it was called Mint. Yeah.
Yeah, Mint.
On the corner, Mint. Yeah. And then you'd have ones from round
there was
the corner.
Jazz Bar, Mint. Jazz Bar, next to that was Revolution, whatever it's called.
Then you'd have Cross the Road, Barracuda and Mint.
Yeah.
But like you'd have them 4, and then also there was basically, and then you'd have position staff, sugar mill staff. So you'd probably walk down the street and there'd be about 20 different flyer staff and giving out free shots trying to get people into bars. You probably see 20 people in the street now just going out. If you look at it, like, of how many people. But there was always, like, real busy. Like, you'd always be, like, talking to people, having a laugh and that with all the people pissed up and shit. Like, it used to be always good crack. But, like, I think a lot of the younger kids, like, now, you don't really see that as many bars. You never see a bar doing that. The only places, like, your holiday places, like, you'll have your Magalufs or a beef or whatever. But you don't really see, like, not in, like, either Hull, Leeds and stuff. Don't know whether that's because we go more to raves or whether...
Yeah, maybe. And the promotional game's completely changed. I think people generally...
Online, they don't.
Rather
than going and have a look.
Going and having a look, yeah. But, you know, if it's easier to go on Facebook and just do a few posts, then they're going to do that, aren't they, instead of doing the gram work. It'd be interesting to see what would happen if we said to some of our promotional staff, oh, we want you to wait at the night. Yeah, you give them an hourly rate. If they would actually do it. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't think... I probably wouldn't know what to do a bit. But again, it's something like you'd learn to do though, wouldn't you? Like when I was doing it, it was like something it was my first job of doing in the nightclub industry. So I learnt from doing that. Before then I started doing, obviously, like your social media, even doing DJing and stuff like that. Like before that, all I was doing was just flyering and stuff. So that's what I'd learnt first. Whereas if some of them do that, they're like, well, I am flyering.
So what was your natural progression then? So you did the flyering. I think you did it for Rich Clark, didn't you?
Yeah, and then
was that the first
Carl
one?
King. Carl King
was the first
and then
one.
Rich perched me.
He
got me to come across. I'll give you a better wage. And all this, it was he perched
What
me.
was the wage?
Full on perched to staff. So I was 60. Was I 16 or 17 at the time? So I actually wasn't old enough to be going out. Sorry, Rich Clark here, mate. I'm just like full on just saying, just employing underages here. But to be fair, though, I was only doing flyering and things. I want saving beer and stuff.
No,
I
think you're allowed to do that.
But yeah, he used to pay us like, so bearing in mind I'm like 16, 17, and this is 10 years ago, maybe longer, 11, 12 years ago. He was paying me 10 quid an hour.
That's good for that age.
And that's 10 years ago as well. Yeah. So I think minimum wage for my age at the time was £4.90.
Was it Friday and Saturday?
I'd do a Tuesday. I'd do shotgun Tuesdays. Do fusion. I'd work fusion. So I did start off, jazz bar on a Thursday, not jazz bar, Revolution on a Thursday for Khyle King. And then from there I started working for Rich, who did Sugar Mill Mondays and Sugar Rush. And then he'd do Tuesdays at Fusion, what used to be Fusion on Cot Road. Do a Tuesday there. And then on a Friday, I'd either do outside of Fusion, getting all the students in. You used to get a free shot on a slice of pizza. Well, but it wasn't really free because you was paying £2 to get in.
Yeah.
so you're paying for your shot on your pizza, really. But then he'd get it from the takeaway next door, so he'd buy like 2 pizzas for like £10.
Nice touch, though. Nice touch, though. Kept you entertained.
Yeah. So do that, and then on a Saturday, I can't remember where else I did. And then, obviously, I've always known Tom and Josh, and then that's when Tom was like, and Josh was like, oh, do you want to work at the bar at Soho? So then I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So I started working at Soho Monday nights, glass collecting. Monday nights, Thursday nights, Friday, Saturdays. But I used to do from like 9 till 1 each of them. But I used to get, so that was like, I think that was like £6-7 an hour at times. So yeah, £6 an hour. But obviously, what I'd do is sometimes I'd do some of the nights for Rich and then do some of the nights, glass collecting for Tom. Or like start for Rich. So Rich's was only like 2-3 hours. So I'd work doing like 8 o'clock till 9-10. Then go across to Soho.
Were they competing?
No,
was Soho more pre-bar, yeah.
It was a pre-bar, so what they'd do is they'd give out cheaper entry and stuff to go to there and stuff. Even though Soho used to do all the free shop with first drink and stuff outside with Matt Newton, and that used to always be in Gibbo. They used to be always outside doing like the flyering there. So I started doing, I started doing the flyering and glass collecting for Tom. So if it was quiet, you go outside, you'd flyer, get people in. Then when it's busy, you glass collect. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think that also helped for the next stage after that you did, because people will have recognised you because you got quite a recognisable face, and you'll have been in everyone's face doing the flyering and stuff like that. So yeah, what was after that? So that's when you started DJing.
So I was working at there, and then Nick Wellben was a resident at the time at Soho, and then I started.
He was resident for years, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to do Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. I think he used to do them all, but he used to do, I think it's plumbing he was doing at the time, or something like that, gas fitting or something. But because he used to work away during the week, so the odd times, I used to basically have to start shift. I'd start shift at 9 o'clock, but Josh would start at 8. But Josh used to live like Kirkella way, so he used to give me a lift. So, because I used to just go with him, rather than getting bus, I just used to go, I'll get there an hour early and I'll just chill for an hour. So I used to be like, go there, just like, Dex, put a CD in, and I'd be like, what's that do? Just like that. Like, if I listen back to half the times when I was there for like the first few months and that, like some of the, like, when you're like, that'd be awful listening to.
Yeah.
But yeah, started doing that. And then it was like, there's just the hour before, just pissing about. And then Nick the odd times would show me like, to do like beat matching and stuff like that. But it was
all on CDs as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it was all just trial and error really, and it was on them little fucking Newmarks. Well, one was a Newmark deck, one was an American Audio, so it wasn't even matching decks.
No expense spared with Tom Burnham.
Well, it wasn't Tom, it was Ross who'd actually thinking. But yeah, we never used to get like, there was no like decks or anything. As long as it worked and put music out. And
they're happy.
Yeah, they're happy. And then it was like a little Newmark K2 little mixer. But yeah, I used to just do an hour pissing about like before then. And then it was just like one of the odd times Nick couldn't make it, so it'd be either stuck in like Pocklington or wherever he was doing it. And then so it'd be like, oh, we're no one to DJ. So Tom would be like, to me, I was on £6 an hour doing glasses. He'd be like, Khyle, can you just cover? Like, he can't make it. Can you just cover and just go on there till 9 till 12 a piece, £7 an hour.
Good.
So I'm like this, buzzing, 17 going, yeah, I'm getting an extra £1 an hour.
Yeah.
Then really he's on to a winner because he's only paying me 21 quid for a DJ, which is fair play.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I just started doing that, and then the odd times he just kept not doing it. And then because that time I was at uni, I'd then at my own flat I was like, right, I'll get some decks. So I bought some of them Newmarks NDX 400s. I think I paid 450 quid for them.
What, you bought your own?
Yeah. So
Investing in yourself.
So I bought them. So Newmark that, and it was the same mixer. What was that? So in the end, I think theirs broke, and I ended up just giving them my mixer. So yeah, but then that was like when I was at uni. So that was 2010, 11, something like that, and I was just constantly, because we're always going out, all thing is constantly just.
Well, you think about it, it's an ideal concoction. You're DJing, you're getting paid, and then you start just going out afterwards, and yeah, it's an ideal scenario.
So that's what I mean. So I was just at my flat, and loads of times I'd be on like my decks for about 9 hours straight, just practicing, bingo players, all stuff like that back in the day, at old Swedish house and stuff like that. And I started like, I was just practicing, And then it just got to a point where Tom was just like, do you want to just do a Monday, or do you want to do, because Nick, I think, couldn't end up really doing, it was more of a ball ache for him to come from work to try and rush back than what it was, because I don't know if he was getting like 30 quid or 50 quid, you know, just for doing like 3 hours. So it was just an easier, quicker, obviously, thing. So I started doing it. And then I gradually just progressed, went from doing just a Monday to doing a Monday and Thursday. Then I went to doing a Monday, Thursday, Friday. And then I think Nick was just doing the Saturdays. And then I can't remember where Nick went from there. Nick went, I think, maybe Lizard or somewhere. Started doing there as well. So I used to do like the odd Saturdays. And then that's when there was, I'm trying to remember who else, Andy Taylor, Steve Newsom used to do a Friday as well. But yeah, I was pretty much like 3 nights a week residency doing there. And then I got asked, because I was always still wanting to play house, I then ended up...
Because you've been playing a mix at SO, wouldn't you? A mix of R&B.
Well, yeah, when I first started, it was R&B. Thursday nights was R&B. Monday was a bit of everything, because it's students. So you can pretty much, you go from like house music to R&B to drum and bass, like all different, like...
And R&B, DJing R&B puts you in good stead for doing house, because R&B.
Well, that's what I had to like learn on, but I think more of it was more learning my songs, because at the time it was all like your bottoms up Trey songs, Tiger, Rack City, Drake the Motto, all that kind of thing at the time. So all those, what's the other one called? Anyways, but it's like all pretty much like that. It was more sort of knowing your songs. So it always used to be the same people coming in, week out. It was always rammed, like full. But for them 3-4 hours, if I'm playing 3-4 times a week, some nights I'd end up by request playing them songs twice, but then I'd also be playing them 4 times a week, plus whatever when I'm at
it gets tedious.
So tedious, but at the same time you know the song inside out, so you know when every little bit of a breakdown of a song will be. But at the time I didn't look at music as, oh, this is what a breakdown is, this is what, you know, like now when we're making like tracks and music and listening to tracks, you know where your breaks are, you know when the build's going to come back in, you know when rides and stuff, structure music. Whereas at that, I didn't have a clue. I'm like, oh, this is a bit where it goes like, I know this second's bit, this'll sound good when that's coming in.
Yeah.
But that's like without consciously knowing. I was then doing that and knowing like perfect sort of things. Like now, if you probably got me to mix loads of R&B now from songs which I don't really know, probably would struggle. I'd be like, what's that? But then if you go to my old playlist of that, I'd be able to knock it like out straight away, because you know the songs and know where to do it, where vocals come in, where vocals don't. Because if you don't know the song, the main thing with R&B is vocals. Is like your vocals clash with another one, it just sounds awful. So you have to make sure that all the time it's like you're always making sure it's like an instrumental part that always goes with them. Did
you like house before you'd started DJing?
Yeah, I'd always. So that's what I mean. So Tom used to always go to me. He'd be like, oh, can you? There's girls in. He was like, can you play more R&B? Can you play more R&B? So I'd start off with R&B, but I'd always be like, looking at me like, here, what can I get away with? What can I get away with here? I'd start to slowly progress, like putting more and more. Sometimes I'm like, oh, yeah, care bit. Like,
yeah, but it also helped you learn your craft, didn't it?
Yeah. So like when I was going home, though, I was constantly just playing like house music. So I was always like, I was going to like Deja Vu and stuff like that, about like 17, sneaking in. Used to get a £10 note. Sorry, Terry, if he's there listening. So a £10 note, and what we'd do is put Chewy. So people always used to have a band, and never used to check it. So what we'd do is, either sometimes there was people where they'd walk out when they was leaving early at about 12, and they'd go, we'd be like, oh, can we have your wristband? Give us it. Bit of Chewy. Bang the wristband back on. Straight in.
Where was it at?
That Welly. Right, so we used to do that. But Welly was, the rest of the club was open as normal, but the main room doors, where that door frame was, there was doormen and doors. So you couldn't go into that main room without a band. So they used to do it separate. So it wasn't always the full club, it was just the main room. So you go into there, and if you go to the upstairs, they'd have like indies, so you'd have all the students about. But what they do is they do a general admission and a Deja Vu admission. So if you wanted to go into the full club with Deja Vu, you'd pay a tenner. But if you wanted to go into just the other parts, it'd be a £5.
Yeah.
So what we'd do is, the only way you wouldn't get a band unless you were to go to that main room. So we'd either look further down the street as we're going down, 17, because we used to get ID'd and stuff as well. So it'd be like, there weren't ideas if we've got a wristband. So one asked about paying the £10, but it was just, if you didn't have a band, you get in ID. Whereas if you go like that,
less chance of getting
at the
ID.
time as well, it wasn't where once you've gone in and paid, you have to pay to get back in again. This was like, you can go out, you can leave for an hour, 2 hours.
Which all clubs did used to be like that, to be
and then
fair.
you can come back in. Yeah, that's what I mean. So you could always come back in. Position used to do it with a stamp and that, and you'd go like that, lick your stamp, and then press it on your mate as soon as you got it wet. But yeah, we used to do that, or get a £10 note, or whatever, a note, roll it up, and wrap it round our waist, and put a bit of chewy as well. So we used to just do that, walk past, and we realised now I'm like, bouncers, right, you could tell was not looking, because they'd see a band, a similar thing, and we'd just go, as you walk in, so you just walk and go like that, and they'd be like, yeah, mate, but you know when you know they're not really checking. But yeah, like, I used to always go to them, and then, like, my brother was always obviously, like, into, like, more, like, tech house, like, underground, like, tribal house it was at the time, like, minimal stuff.
Yeah.
So I was always listening to that, and then that's when I'd started doing Risky, started doing the odd couple of Riskies, because that was when Jordan Precious and James Northridge was doing it. So I then started, Tom Burden asked me to start doing that. I started doing that at Sugar. And then...
Who was Risky? It was Gibber Burden.
Gibber Burden.
And Rich Clark?
No.
Rich Clark
didn't do it.
Right.
They did one together on a Boxing Day. It was Sugar versus Risky, but not like
Yeah, that was it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I always remember that flyer as well. It was boxing gloves on the things. I still remember that flyer. But yeah, I started doing that, and then I went to Get Shaky. That's when Shane and Dean, they messaged and was like, oh, do you fancy doing that? So I did one at Lizard Lounge. Because they used to do Get Shaky at Welly. I didn't ever do the Welly one. I think I did the side room at Welly, and then I did the main room when they was doing it at Lizard Lounge, and then I also did one at, what was it called? Where Mark Jenkins was. What was it?
Stereo.
It wasn't Stereo at the time. That it was called. Yeah, it was called Stereo when I played it, but then it opened.
Summit Bar.
No, it was not Venue.
No, it was opposite Venue.
No, but it was called. I'm trying to remember the name now. It was Terrace, the Terrace.
Yeah, it was the Terrace.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's when it was changed for there. So that's when I'd done it out there as well. And then just progressed from doing that to doing, like, obviously, like, the odd Dejas and stuff like that, and then just progressing. And then
yeah, because that's when did I first see you? I first saw you doing might have been Deja. Yeah, so you did Deja, and then you started doing loads of, like, Scots events like XO and House Tequila, and that's when I came on the scene. I did Sugar Mill main room. Before
Saturdays,
that.
did you Saturdays? Because XO was the Friday one, and you did Saturdays.
Yeah, so I did. I started off doing propaganda in the bar there, and then I did Fuel. Then I did Fuel to Sugar Mill. But I think doing, like, propaganda and, like, the odd, like, bar and stuff like that helps you learn your craft and understanding how crowds are in a small setting. Because what I always find is, like, a lot of DJs nowadays are selected over their social media following, how popular they are, and then they're shoved straight into a main room scenario, and they're just playing songs like they do in their bedrooms.
They don't look and think, oh, people are not.
They don't learn how to read a crowd. But you know, promoters shouldn't put new DJs in that type of position straight off the bat.
It's just the way it's evolved, though, now, isn't it? There's not enough bars, I don't think, what do that kind of, like, where, like, in Hull especially. Obviously, you've got, like, Leeds, you'll have, like, technically, like, district bar or your bar below and stuff like that. But you really now, years ago, there used to be Juice, which was across from where Yates is.
Yeah.
Juice Bar. And that used to be just a house music place where all DJs and stuff would used to go, and it'd shot one. It was always a pre-bar. There was always pre-bars for places. I don't really think anywhere now. I think pre-bars are dead. Like,
no,
the whole thing of...
There's places to go on Humber Street. There's, like, where you can DJ.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's
like,
also the places down, like, Old Town. You could easily get in there and just learn your craft and learning to understand how crowds react, because that puts you in good stead for when you go into the main rooms.
A lot of the people now, the young, I'm saying kids here like I'm fucking 80, but, like, a lot of the younger ones now, if you're just into house music and want to play house music, you ain't going to get in a bar to do that. The only place is if someone you know or whatever gets you into to play at a club. Like, whereas obviously I was kind of into house music, but I played a bit of everything. I wasn't asked about playing fucking. I went to, obviously, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't play Cha Cha Slide or anything like that. I'd be like looking, I'd be like, you fucking weirdo. Yeah, go away. No, do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't just play anything. I play, like, but for me to start doing R&B in that fest, I wouldn't tear my nose down. To be fair, it was R&B. I used to like R&B, good, like music. I think now music R&B was shite, like all mumble rap and all stuff like that. But, like, with that, I wouldn't be bothered about getting to play that to learn my craft to then carry on to do that, because I just enjoyed DJing as like in a total. Whether I was doing the Thursday night where it was all R&B, I'd maybe in the last hour I'd start putting a bit of house, but like to doing that, it was like you learn as well while you're doing it. So I think a lot of places, if they got offered to play it somewhere, they'll go, oh well, even that's at a bar, oh well, I ain't playing there. It's like,
see, I think you should literally capitalise on being able to play anywhere sort of thing. But I just think you have to have some self-control and maybe not go into a main room straight away, because what happens is the amount of times I've seen these, not even necessarily younger DJs, these newcomers go straight into a main room slot. They're not getting the reaction that they want, and sometimes the DJs that are alongside them say, what are you playing here, and it kind of kills the confidence straight away. So I think it's just important to have that apprenticeship with DJing, and then you slowly get to a point where you're 100%. Well, you're never actually 100% comfortable with DJing, but you just get to a stage where it's like, right, I am ready. I know how to read a crowd. I know my song selection. I know
Well, that's what I mean. If you was reading a crowd as well, you'd get half-time managers and bar managers and shit. You'd be bollocked if people start leaving, and you'd get told straight away. So you'd be like, people are leaving. I used to get told, like, if they weren't ever really, obviously the first times and stuff, I start playing something, and you always used to have to observe. Because if you then start all of a sudden seeing loads of people leaving when you're playing a particular song, you're like, right, this song's getting mixed out in a minute. You just do a short fingers and then bang something else to put in, or you get someone come over to you, and a lot of bar managers and that was like, can you play something more thingy because people are leaving? So that's where I was learning, whereas a lot of people in their main slot will go, there's my USB, I've put 15 tracks on it. If anyone thinks of anything else, I'm only playing these 15 tracks.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? And then your next thing you'll know, a fucking dance floor's dead. And then the next pair of DJ who comes on after has then got to fucking try and bring them back through again. So it makes it harder for the other DJs as well.
Yeah. So what's post doing all that, like the get risky it was called, get shaky and risky. So post all that scenario, then you moved on to doing like House Tequila. Actually, no, you did Season and Beef, didn't you? After that,
I did House Tequila first. House Tequila was 2013. It used to be originally at Sugar Mill. Before it all finished.
Oh yeah, that's when you met Hawks and Straw, wasn't it?
Well, no, I'd already knew Straw. I got Straw to do thingy. So it was, so I've known Straw since I was about 12, 13. Just played rugby in that, and but I were basically one of my like family members in related to his thingy. So we always like knew who each other was. Never didn't hang around with each other, but we used to like obviously rugby and that against each other. Blah blah blah. And then when we was like obviously at college and stuff, like a few of like kids I hung around with him, so we used to be like at the same sort of places. And then because Ben had the same setup as me when I'd got my new marks, he also had them as well, because we used to always be like, oh yeah, they're all right, aren't they, to be fair. But it used to be Sugar top floor, and it was me. I met Lewis from doing that, so it used to be 10 o'clock till 3, just that upstairs, just me and Hawks, 5 hours back to back. But we'd be doing it was at the time when it was all like Route 94, My Love, Low Stepper, all that kind of. It was more commercial kind of
commercial
house.
Deep house.
It was like the. Do you know what I mean? It was, but again, that wave 2013. That's when that like it started getting more mainstream and more popular. So we was doing that, and then Tom was like, "Oh, we're going to actually do something in that little side area."
Which side area?
Where the VIP, so you know where the bar was on the top floor in the other section where the stairs, that bar there. So in that far corner where they used to have all the PA guests, didn't they?
So you're saying you had a little table in the
corner?
Built
a table for Straw to go in there. So Straw had then placed that like Darius Rosin and stuff like that. So that section would be there. There was me. I used to then come through, do like an hour, and there was one of Lewis Hawks' mates as well. So it used to be like more commercial there, and then in that little bit, it was more like just a little underground sort of bar area.
Yeah.
Which worked well. And then that's when it moved to. So there was 2013. I was doing that, and then it moved to Position at the start of 2014, and then that's when it was me, Straw, Hawks. And then obviously Rainey came on board, you came on board, JD came on board, JD came on board, you, Rainey, and then who else? Danny Jackson won it. So that's when all that, and then that's when Danny Jackson came on a little bit after, didn't he?
Danny Jackson was before me.
So so it went.
And JD.
So it was me, Straw, Hawks. Then it was Rainey, then it was JD. And you, and then it was Danny Jackson on it. So that was like that's solid 6, right? It's like 7 residents that in it.
Everyone, and as well. Minus, I think Rainey's first gig was House Tequila. I think that's what it said.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was his first ever gig.
So everyone that was in that circle, even Rainey had put in some serious groundwork at home. You know, he was really trying to learn how to do. He was on his controller at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But every single person in that resident circle really knew especially liked house music for a start, knew how to DJ pretty well. And everyone
DJ'd somewhere or other. Besides obviously Rainy being new, but like at least they had an idea of what they was wanting to do.
So I've got a House Tequila flyer here with Lindsay Matthews. This was before I did it.
I think that's one of the first. I think that might have been the first one. Oh yeah, so that's when we moved to. Sorry, it was at Sugar. Then I went to Ibiza. Then I was in Ibiza that summer, and that's when I used to live at Esvedra with Lindsay. And then after that, I was like, "Oh, come and play." I was like, "Oh, there's this lass from Wales." I was like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." Get her in touch, and then that's when she played. When was that? Was that September time?
This was the 7th of February 2015. So
it was after it was after the Christmas.
And it was Lindsay Matthews, and the residents were Ben Straw, Khyle Black, Ben Rainey, Lewis Hawkes, Jack Davis, Danny Jackson. So,
solid.
And then I came after that. I can't remember who my first one was. Don't go far enough back. As an XO flyer here, Khyle Black and Jack Davis. That was Volume Events Presents. Yeah. Doesn't say where it was though. Where was that?
XO used to be at Sugar and Lizard Lounge.
This is the first one I did. Mine was Seri.
Yeah, from Hot Creations.
That was a month after 7th of the Fair 2015. So that was Ben Straw, Khyle Black, Ben Ray, Lewis Hawkes, Jack Davis, Danny Jackson, Tom Watkinson.
Solid.
I've never really heard her. Seri.
I didn't.
Says she was signed to Hot Creations and Beaver.
I think
she'd actually had a release on Hot Creations.
Yeah. I think it was like a remix or something. I think. I'm not too
sure. A remix?
I think it was like she'd done a remix on one of the Hot Creations things.
Fair play to her. And then what did we do? So we'd done House Tequila. No, sorry. Did you go to Ibiza after that or before?
I went again for the next summer, and you started doing. What was the one at Position? With Endor.
Yeah. Who else was there after that?
You, JD, and Josh Holdsworth and that did it with you.
Josh Holdsworth did one. Then Will Acton came on the scene. There was Luke Pompey. He did an House Tequila.
I was away when that, and there was Ollie Julian. I was away for one of the Ollie
Julian. That's ones. Another one.
Because I was away for the summer and then came back, and I did the Halloween with Roscoe.
Yeah, KB and Roscoe Homecoming. Yeah. I think one of the other benefits of House Tequila was it's the same thing like we've got going. The emphasis was on the residents.
Yeah.
So people, you're not going to go to Seri or nothing against the other guys, but like Ollie Julian and people like that. People actually came to see us DJ and buzzed off us.
As well as maybe a guest and go, oh, I'd like the look of that, but mainly it was to see, like, we'd always have a group of about 20, 30 what was in different circles, what would always be there to see, like, other people, wouldn't they?
So what did you do post? So you did Ibiza twice.
I started doing Deja a couple of times.
Then you did Deja. Yes, you
did. Deja. I did the Josh Butler. Did Josh Butler and Christoph.
Darius Rossian.
Pissed myself at the thing it was.
Pissed yourself?
The Josh Butler one.
Yeah.
I was that pissed myself.
And that was when?
So went home, pissed myself and went home. Bad that. Awful. And I want the Josh Butler one. It was the Christoph and Detlef. That was the one. Christoph and Detlef. And I came home for Mum's birthday because I was still in Ibiza. And I came home for that weekend because you picked me up. I stayed at your house.
And that's when that
was the one, do you remember?
I was doing the sit down with Detlef on stage, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you remember that one, Jack?
Cringing hell.
Oh, that was awful.
That one. So because I'd left, because I'd been drinking. It was Umber Street session all day. And I DJ'd outside with Rainy, didn't I? And did you do it as well?
Where was that?
Outside of Steinbeck.
Yeah, I did.
So,
and Jack Davis did as well.
Yes, I did that. I started drinking from like 2, 3 in the afternoon. And then I got to Deja, did my set, and I was absolutely fucking steaming. Sent myself home, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sent myself home. I was home for like 12 o'clock midnight. But I pissed myself, and I was like, I just knew things straight away. I was like, I don't know why. I just like full on just lost myself. I was like, yep, this is like, sent myself home.
Yeah.
Awful. And then, so I was doing that, and then, what else did I do?
You'd done an illicit though between then, hadn't you?
Yes, I'd done the illicit. I did the first illicit. It was 2013, I think.
Who was it with?
With Mark Jenkins.
So it's illicit, Mark Jenkins.
Yeah,
because it'll come out the old one, won't it? Illicit.
2013.
Was it 2013? I don't know if it'll go that far enough. So I know the illicit.
Just type it in.
Oh, hold on. Illicit. Here's the flyer. This is from Danny Jackson. So this was. Let's have a look. So, it doesn't actually say the date. Oh, right, go on then, guess the date then. So it was illicit Mark Jenkins.
I'm going to go for about March or February 2013.
It was the 2nd of August 2013.
Ooh.
It doesn't say you had any residents or anything like that.
I had play it. It was Danny Jackson, Radders. Did I have Lee Jeffrey do that one?
It
I
doesn't
think.
say.
Oh yeah, Lee Jeffrey, and Alburn North.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was Alburn North, Danny Jackson, Radders, Lee Jeffrey.
Doesn't say anything on the flyer.
I don't think I did put anything at that point. It was back when Flyers and he had the headliner on before Residents.
There was another one. Right, and then you did another illicit, didn't you?
With Clive Henry. That's what me,
Henry.
Tom and Scott did that together. So that was Clive Henry, that was me, Rainey, Lewis Hawks and Straw, was it? No, I don't think Straw did that. Did he?
Hold on. It says
Me
Khyle
and-
Black, Alex Robinson and James Northridge,
Oh, yeah.
Lewis Hawks and Ben Rainey.
Yeah.
God, it was 2 years later. What made you not do anything for 2 years?
Stop doing it. I was going to Ibiza. I know what year was that? 2015.
2015.
Well, yeah,
exactly
that was
2
so-
years.
what-
Saturday,
what-
28th of March, 2015.
March, that was just before I fucked off to Ibiza again, second year. So I fucked off for like 2 months after.
Yeah, because that's when I remember first speaking to you on Facebook, because you... I was
2016,
offshore, we was having
the
it.
year after.
Well, no, it was that year, because we did it on the 16th of January 2016, so maybe later on in the year to that, I was chatting to you. It must have been like
It was after I
September,
got back on it, October time.
October time-ish. And you messaged me and said, oh, have you listened to this kid? And I was like, who? Sent it over, and it was Latman.
Yeah.
And obviously it was before he got bigger or anything. No one really knew who he
Yeah,
was. I
didn't
think
even-
he
it
had
was
a track
before
signed.
it was before his Viva release, wasn't it?
Oh no, not it. Won't be. He'd entered a competition, a debt left competition.
Yeah.
For a music signing to Viva.
Mad that,
or
innit, when you
part
think
of it.
about it. He's just entered a
Yeah.
competition, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He did that full tour with, I think he did
Debt Left back to back,
Yeah,
so.
that's what I mean. Mad that, innit? You just sent a thing in for a competition, and now you're doing that.
Yeah, so you'd said
Fucking
to me, have you listened to this guy? And I was like, oh, showed me it. And I was like, Jesus Christ, his tunes are absolutely slamming. And then you was like, oh, I'm going to do an illicit. And I was like, I'll do it with you. And then, yeah, I think you can talk money. It was ages ago. 300 quid, was it? For
Yeah, 300 quid.
bag of
Now he's
Essential?
getting like probably, what, 2.5, 3 grand?
Probably, something
Maybe,
like that.
maybe probably more these days.
But how many did we have? So it was Function. Function
I
was...
think we had 90 people, didn't we? Or 100 people, didn't we, for it? 90 something, 96, wasn't it? 96
Yeah,
people.
and you imagine, so if it was 2016, your crowd demographic will have been totally different from your first one in 2013 to who came in 2016. Massive
Yeah.
change. So it was
Like
like...
2013 was literally all like people like my brother's mates. Lewis Hawks went to it. I didn't even know Lewis at the time. Lewis was like, oh yeah, I went to it. It was all like not good everyone, you know, like all that sort of like age
Yeah.
thing is what don't really go out much now, do they? All them.
No, they've come to a couple of them.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. They started coming back to our things again, aren't they?
yeah. So then that's when we started working together properly on Illicit and things like that. So we'd done Function with Lapman, and then we'd headed towards Tunnel, didn't we? And headed down that route, smaller capacity. Function was too big of a beast to
And then we
try
got
to put
kicked
on.
out. And we got kicked out.
And we got kicked out, yeah. That was the thing. There was all promoter wars are just a waste of everyone's energy, aren't they? I think at the time Terry had said you can't have too many house nights there. Now I don't think we'd have been a competitor as such with only having 90 people turn up, but not that I don't think he was particularly worried about us. I just thought it was his domain, so his clientele. Why? You know, open the doors for someone else, which is fair enough. Business is business, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Is what it is.
Yeah. So we decided to move to Tunnel, and I think that was all right. I think that was a good move for us.
Yeah.
So we did Tunnel. What was the capacity? What, 180?
200,
No.
180. Cram 'em in. 300, sweat dripping to the walls.
So
Yeah. How much is it? People have rammed out the outside. Cram 'em in.
Cram 'em in. Yeah. Well, that
At
was
least it's not as bad as fucking. Where was it? Where I went before?
the worst one we went to was Mint.
Yeah, the Mint. There was one at Mint Club where it was real bad as well, but it wasn't as bad as that Mint warehouse. MK. Fucking hell! You literally couldn't move, and people screaming to move.
Yeah.
And Mint Fest.
Not that Mint overcrowd or anything like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't like to.
The Mint Fest.
Yeah. But
I was gonna say a comment, but I'm
no, I
afraid
think we
I'm
should
one
keep it quiet. But yeah, so we did Tunnel. Who was our first guest at Tunnel? We did Corey Barker, didn't we? Which was
Corey
decent.
and it was Corey on it. Because at the time he just had a release on. Doing a bird, wasn't he? Played a bird.
He did, yeah, and Patrick Topping was massively supporting him as well. Good DJ, good producer as well.
Yeah.
You taught him to DJ, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. I was showing. Because I always do the 0.8s things, you know, knowing with that. He was like, how do you work that out? And he was kept looking. I was like, oh, it kind of makes sense now. But that's what I was like, because that's how I have more of like visual. It's probably the autism in me.
Yeah, maybe. So how would you say Illicit's changed from what it was then to what it is now?
What from?
So we'll say the tunnel days, customers, music.
I'd say the crowds thing is it's aged totally different demographic, barring the odd ones which will show the face every now and again, which originally popped at tunnel. But obviously people get older, they don't want to go out and that they have families and stuff, grow up, unlike me. But but yeah, there's, I don't know, like I'd probably say it's like a lot. We get a lot of young sort of faces. Like when we go, I don't know, it's half and half of what we recognise, but what we like, there's quite a lot of faces where I've never seen them before in my life.
See, I think that when we'd started doing tunnel, it wasn't necessarily 18-year-olds that went. I thought it was 21s and plus.
Yeah.
And nowadays, because the youngsters are so involved and invested in the music, they're invested in the DJs and everything like that. Absolutely invested in, like, because house music is such a beast now. So you've got your Elros, and everyone goes to Ibiza and all that now. When we started doing tunnel, it was, I think the 18 to 21-year-olds were still heavily into the R&B. I think a lot of it was drum and bass. I think a lot of 18-year-olds went to drum and bass. So our 20, yeah, but with us, we've only been a small brand, and I think as well, we was a lot younger. So it's 2020 now. So say it was 4 or 5 years ago. We was 25. You was 23.
5 years, 23. Yeah.
23. So you was like attracting your age group. Same with me a bit. So it was just like 21s and plus. We've just managed to be able to grab, from as a customer standpoint, these 18-year-olds and brought them to our brand sort of thing. And I think as well, the booking choices that you do, staying current, staying with
Bibby and stuff like that.
Yeah, and a lot more people like house music
we got
now.
him at a perfect time. Like
that was one of the best bookings we ever did.
He's getting like 10 grand a set now.
Is he?
Yeah. Which isn't surprised, to be fair. He's just got that thing come out, didn't he? Was that come out?
Hanging Tree was the one though when that came out.
Yeah, but it's got now. But what's that one? Is it a remix, Jack, of that? Is it Yesterday or something? It's got the eye.
Oh, fuck knows, mate. I ain't got a clue.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, just type in Michael Bibby. It's on Blanc. I think Blanc put it out.
Michael Bibby remix.
So,
one day ago, Blue Foundation, Eyes
it's
on
an
Fire,
eye.
Michael
It's with
Bibby
an eye.
remix.
It's one with an eye. Yeah. Is that the one?
Mm.
So this is like the track now. I don't know, is it connected to your thing now?
No. What's it?
So this is like the one that's got out now.
Not my cup of tea. You like it though?
It's alright.
Yeah.
Well, there's not much to it. There's not much to it really. But he's always like, his tracks are quite stripped back to that. Really, it's just a banging kick.
Yeah, and heavy bass line. And you got to remember,
Paul's has done a Jungle Book song. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to be like you. Nah.
Each to their own, though, innit, I suppose. And I think as well, going back to Illicit, how much the sounds changed as well. So the bookings that we had at the start, when we're talking like the major bookings, we got the likes of Christoph, and we got Detlef, we got Sarah Alba, we got Pausette, Waff, and our sound now.
Raphael,
another one. But I think
mental, that guy.
Yeah, I know. Considering that we've gone from having 200 capacity venues to where we are now.
But we was doing 200 cap, mate, and like getting people like Left Wing Cody and like Pause, like when you think about it, mad now, like because I look at like a lot of people are booking them in massive venues, aren't they? But I think that's what worked. And
got to get our brand to the front.
Yeah, because I think like we was like, and I think it showed that one just about. Just trying to get shitloads of money booking a big DJ in a big venue. Like anyone could do that. You could easily do that. Like if you wanted to spend shitloads and just get someone like Salada or something. Like no, you know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. When we'd got them, like it was great doing it. Like but like really anyone could kind of just do that now. Do you know what I mean? But whereas we was just doing it in the small thing, I think it felt more like intimate for the people going. So it's like there's only us going here and it's in tunnel. It's a little small. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no one had actually used tunnel for years, had they? So. Yeah. It was fresh. It was totally fresh. Yeah. It was fresh in people's minds, and people like, oh, we've not been here before, so it creates that excitement on the top of having people like Left Wing and Cody and Porter and people like that. Who would you say is the best? So we'll say tunnel wise, who was the best DJ that we got at tunnel?
Raphael was sick at the time, but I don't know. Christoph's was good though. Everyone says Christoph's, but I can't remember shit from that afterwards. No. I was spewing one in Babylon when we had the after party.
was that the second? Did we have Christoph twice in tunnel or just
No,
once?
just once. And then we had him at Welly, didn't we?
And as
then
well,
we had him
Christoph,
at
he wasn't heavily into the progressive sound then either. I think he played his old
Slamming,
school
yeah,
tech house type vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember that being the best. Who would you say you went to tunnel from the start? Who was the best at tunnel?
Ooh, for me, WAF, first one.
Was it?
WAF was pretty good there.
WAF was slamming.
That was sweat was dripping off the ceiling for that one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Cram him in.
the best thing about the WAF one was it was people from all different age groups had come up, like the old school people.
We had people from Darlington.
I think as well we'd had like the older age group type of people come down. We'd also had like the youngsters coming through. So everyone, it was like all different age groups there. Like your Mike Whites, your brother, your brother's mates, and all that stuff. And there was all the youngsters coming through. And obviously WAF is an absolute dead set in Hull, innit?
Yeah.
So you're always going to attract people. But yeah, WAF was, I'd say Christoph and then WAF with a close second.
I thought Raphael was good. Lapman was good though again as well when we did that in the summer.
we did Lapman again, didn't we?
Del 30, wasn't it? Del 30 and GW, they was both good.
Yeah. We had quite a few, mate. Like really strong, like artists. Good.
And then we moved to Welly. I think how many events did we do at Welly? 3.
3 we did. The first one was Christoph, Mirko De Florio, and Second City.
Yeah.
And then
I wasn't a fan of that one.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, I think
Did all right
that
numbers
teething
wise.
that was just teething though, and of like knowing of what we got there, and it was like then we knew stuff we wanted to do. Kaluki was banging, so that was Salado, Mark Jenkins, Pirate Copy, and
Is that where we had
Pete
Pete Zorba, yeah.
He was such a sound guy him as well, real nice guy.
I think dealing with Kaluki as well was on pleasure to do like business with. I thought Pirate Copy was sound from the start, very helpful because we went to go see him in Leeds, didn't we?
Yeah. Like each time we've met and like meeting up like the odd couple of times, you know, just at like events and stuff like that. But yeah, sound like got
Salado were all right.
Yeah.
They were all right. Then after that was Boxing Day. That was the best. Was that the best illicit we've ever done?
I'd probably say yeah, mate. It was
for vibe.
Vibe, mate. Wall to wall, everything. Like even like the videos and stuff. Like I've came across some of the videos the other week on my phone. I was just like, you know, you're just going through like old stuff, and I was like, wow. From the rafters, like the sides, because you have the raised bit, and I was behind the booth. It was like when he was playing that Katama track and stuff like that, like literally just wall for wall. But even when Richie Ahmed's set was class, like Richie Ahmed was class. The full just everything was. Then upstairs got busy for quite a bit as well, didn't it?
The club
Jake
was
Hermes
full.
was there as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. That queue outside.
It was a proud one as well because we'd literally put all our time and effort. A lot of cash was spent because we'd got video walls, spent a fortune on lighting. You know, we had a full deck arrangement. We'd done upstairs, made sure everything was on point.
Oh, there's things now though. Looking back, we could have done different. Like them laser bars would probably be definitely something I reckon you'd probably use instead. You know what we did at Asylum?
Yeah.
I liked them. And
Yeah,
a lot cheaper.
I always thought
a lot cheaper. But no, saying that though, them LED walls were sick though. To be fair, that Boxing Day one was class.
I think that all added to the vibe, and everyone will have gone into that Welly main room and gone, "Oh my god!"
Because it wasn't like going to Welly. It wasn't like going to Welly.
It was. It
was like going out of town somewhere.
It was like festival vibes, but in
I
Welly
think
on Boxing Day.
I think it reminded me a bit like Sankey's, with the walls things with the LEDs at the front, the LED wall in the front and the back.
I wonder if that's what I like, that underground feel that Sankey's had. I don't know if obviously it's reopened as that. What's it called now? Octane. So I wonder if it's still got that same underground feel. But yeah, Welly, Michael. Who was it? Michael Bibby. Oh, was it Michael Bibby? Richie Ahmed.
Jake Hermes.
It's a funny story actually about when we'd done Boxing Day. So originally we tried to get Pauser, and it was before Michael Bibby had blown up. So we'd actually approached to book Pauser.
And then Pauser did turn
Pauser
it down,
was busy, So it was like, but we do have Michael Bibby available. I remember thinking to myself,
I was like, I'll be all right with Richie Ahmed.
So this must have it was like this was like the September time. It must have been before September.
No, but we was focused on trying to get Ahmed with someone else, weren't we? So it was like the main thing.
So then they turned around and was like, oh, we've got Michael Bibby available. So it was like, oh, I don't really.
We wanted Pauser, but we was like, oh, should we have him?
So there was like. Was it 1,500 quid?
1,300.
1,300 quid.
It's getting 10 grand.
All right, we'll give Michael Bibby a chance. And then,
devastated, really. Like, we know we're having to go for second best.
Yeah, and then all.
It's like trying to get Paul Scholes and then you get Carrick.
I know.
Isn't it?
And then that hanging tree just started coming out of nowhere.
From Forbidden Forest and that one. I think we
Yeah.
got him in August. Did we book him out end of August?
It must have been. It must
We
have
booked
been.
it early, and then next thing it was like, do
Are you?
yeah. I was like, fuck, like when it's like, and then it came to it, and then he did the church show, didn't he?
Yeah.
And there's that big video, and it comes out like the month before the actual event, and we was like, that has got to be the most perfect timing. And remember, like, we got 1,000 people in. We could have sold about 1,500 because we had to sell. We stopped selling them, didn't we, because of cap, and you didn't want to be that person where you oversell.
I think this is what we want people to enjoy the time. There's like we were just speaking about it earlier. There are clubs that have oversold and it's made it a shit night. We didn't want to do that. We didn't want to do that.
But yeah, with that, we could have probably sold about 1,500-1,600. And also on that night as well, to speak volumes, we had Waff, Sarossian and Sidney Charles on at another club in Hull. Like, when you think about it as well. And that was like that, and Waff's home thing in it on that. And we managed to like do, that's when we knew as well though, like the promotion wise and everything was like, everything just came together perfect.
That's one thing that we've always done is invest heavily in like the promotion, the branding, trying to create a visual identity about what Illicit is and stuff like that. And that's what I noticed that other brands weren't doing. And I think that showed on Boxing Day the extra effort we'd put into our event with the video walls, with the promotion, with the videographer. I can't remember anyone doing like videos in Hull of their events really.
Or if there was, it was just like the odd ones where it'll flick to a dance floor.
Yeah.
And it'll be a girl with a VK bottle in their hand, just doing a little bit of dance.
Exactly.
Then it'll go back to a DJ, just like no crowd shots and stuff like that.
Yeah. And yeah, I think
we started doing that though with the photos as well though. Everyone's at Tunnel. There was no places doing all the full of photos of the events and doing like, or they might put 1 or 2 photos on, but they weren't doing like a full album of like 100 photos. When we had Chris, wasn't it? Chris
Pepper do it, yeah. As well, it was all like added promotion and utilize, and people would be tagging themselves in the photos and all that, so it'd be on their page and make sure you've got the Illicit branding on the photo and stuff like that. So then people think, "Fuck's Illicit? Let's have a look."
The pineapple, when
exactly,
the
pineapple took off. Yeah,
Matty.
You can explain how the pineapple took off. Yeah,
Matty Collinson and it was Poppy and
Marshall.
Sorry, Poppy Marshall, and I can't remember who else it was. Nick Alexis. They'd just been pre-drinking and just for a laugh, there was making like they'd been making cocktails or something. And there was just like to the fruit bowl. It was like, oh, should we sneak a pineapple into Tunnel? Random like weird thing. So there was like, yeah, we'll see if we can sneak one in. So they'd got and turned up and then snuck it in. And then next thing, people were like, wow, the fuck's a pineapple? People dancing around. Where's this fucking pineapple come from? Just in the middle of the club. And then people was like just passing it, getting photos and stuff. Someone took a bite out of it, didn't they? But there was like people just going around just doing that. And then next thing on Facebook, it was like there was like about 7, 8 different statuses going, why was there a pineapple in Tunnel last night? Why was there a pineapple? People taking photos with like a pineapple. So we was like, right, we'll play on that. And then from then, we started on the DJ booth, didn't we, on each end? Putting pineapples. So then each event, people then started to take photos with the pineapples. Or like our one when we did at Gate 5, so we did the Jackie and Denny first birthday at Gate 5. Like on that promo video, there's someone they're waving around pineapple in the air on the videos and like taking a bite out of it. Like stuff like that on a promotional video is like perfect to people capturing that moment. And as well, I thought it looked class.
And as well, people are all like, were saying to each other and saying to us, "What's with the pineapple?" And I know it's as daft as it seems. Everyone was questioning what is all the pineapple about, and you know it was intriguing, and people were investing in it.
Darlington people was going, "Oh, what's pineapple about?" Like, or people even asking, go to other places. And then when we started doing the odd little tour bits and stuff, then they'd go, was it we played at somewhere? Oh, it was when we played in Milan, me and you, and they put pineapples at the DJ booth, didn't they? Yeah. That when you were sick everywhere, Jack. That was not it. That was when you absolutely was sick everywhere, weren't you? Yeah, so just for anyone that didn't know, so we'd got a little drinks rider of an ice bucket. They put a bottle of vodka in and some cans of Red Bull. I think it was Red Bull. Next thing, we'd go over. Where's all the stuff out of it? Jack's behind the booth and is spewed in the ice bucket where all the beers and the cans are in the ice bucket. and then it was behind, and some guy was stood like oblivious, knew that he was stood in sick, and we looked and was like, that is minging.
And the thing is, what was great about Milan was nobody spoke English.
Yeah,
nobody spoke English.
And I thought, who's this weird English kid who's just been sick in an ice bucket? Quality.
Yeah, so we've done. So going back onto the first birthday, we've done our first birthday at Gate number 5, and that was with Denny and Jackie. That was another good one.
That was
that
quite,
the
yeah,
music.
to be fair,
the music was on point. I think the Welly one was decent, just simply because it was Boxing Day. It was Michael Bibby and Richie Ahmed. That's what sold it. Not necessarily the Illicit brand as such, but it helped give us a platform. It raised our platform. It's like,
we went
these
from
guys.
200, we went to, right, we've got 500. And that's when we was like, right, can we try and do Welly? Welly at the main room was like 700-800. Was like, right, we did that gradual rather than just going straight in. Well, we did try to do the straight in. And we was like some people would have probably tried that one and either fucked it off completely, or they'd start doing it again. And then people go, right, it's that night where 60 people go to, fuck that shite.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Whereas we went, right, that didn't work. Back to the drawing board. We'll start smaller, and then we progressed doing that.
Yeah,
obviously, and then we ended up doing Mint. Ended up doing Mint. What's that? 500-600 cap. We did that with Monkey. Got like 450 people on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
In a city where
I think
it's not even from that city, and people even that's the thing as well. I remember a few of the students. They actually thought we lived Leeds. They thought we was from Leeds, and then when we was like, no, from Hull, they was like, like, no, we're not even, we don't even live here, or thingy here. So
that just shows the platform that we created in another city, and we're not even from there. And hopefully we can try and mirror that this year. But so we've done the gate number 5 stuff, we've done the Mint stuff. That helped raise our profile. I think gate number 5 was a natural place to go from a music standpoint.
Yeah.
I think Welly, I've been quite open about, Welly just didn't have that feel for me of what Illicit was about. I didn't think the sound system was up to scratch. I don't remember. Was you that was stood with me at the back?
It was more the booth one.
No,
which one was this?
Was it at Welly? We were stood at the back, and you don't want to be in a position where you can just speak like we are.
Oh yeah. But I think that was because with them though, they had a lot to do with sound complaints of residents around. So that's what they was very vigilant on, which is quite fortunate with Gate 5. You can fucking thump it. You're in the middle of nowhere. You ain't got complaints. Whereas Welly, I think it was only the year before that, they had the thing of the police with the residents. But that's why they used to have an open smoking area, and now it's all boarded up to stop all that. And they used to have to do where you shut the door, and then you had to, if you start shouting in the smoking area, bouncers come over to you, don't they, and start telling you to be quiet or you're leaving.
And that's why I've got nothing against Welly. I've got the building is absolutely spot on. I think the layout is absolutely perfect for throwing an event. I think the main room's great because you've got the raised level on the sides. I think the lighting's good, but me being anal about sound as I am, I felt like it just wasn't what Illicit for me is all about. And because I put the emphasis, especially nowadays, on the music, it's so important. The sound has got to be absolutely perfect, and that's the benefit of being at Gate 4.
Gate 5. Gate
5. No, I said Gate 5. I didn't say that.
Forward, mate.
Yeah, Gate 5. The benefit of there is obviously owning it. It's like we choose exactly what the sound system's going to be, where it's going to be placed.
I think as well though, what you realise is because of doing more and more events, you realise about sound more. A lot of if you asked me about things about 5-6 years ago, something like what it sound like, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds alright. And then now I'd be like,
well, it's like Asylum.
Does it?
When we did Asylum, the sound system, what do you think of that? That was in there in the main room.
It's alright. I didn't think it was. It's like
you want
amazing.
You want it to not be deafening. Like Mint Warehouse can be deafening at times.
But it was always crisp though.
But it was always crisp, and that is what I feel like we've got at Gate 5. You want to be in there to a point where you can't hear the people having a conversation next to you. You just want to be fully immersed. You don't want it where
you can't.
No, not where it's absolutely destroying your ears. Not where it's absolutely destroying your ears, but enough so it's like you're so involved in the music and you literally can't hear the conversation next to you. I remember, I don't know if it was you or someone else, I was literally just having a conversation at the back of Welly, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, it's not for me. And as well, it's a big venue to fill, so you've got to keep consistent with having the biggest bookings. And to me, I know you mirror the same opinion, it's not the way we want Illicit to go. Instead of just having the big bookings, because like I say,
people just expect that and they don't want to come to see us.
So we'd seen the transition over the period of a couple of years where, so say for example, WAF at Tunnel, right? So you'd see the Facebook statuses of people saying going to WAF tonight at Tunnel, or if it was Left Wing and Cody, we'll go and see Left Wing and Cody
I
at
did
Tunnel.
notice more with the Boxing Day there as well. There was quite a lot what was saying illicit there as well, which I
Yeah.
did notice, and that was what we was happy with. Even though Bibby was like the main thing. Don't get me wrong, there was shitloads of people going, can't wait for Bibby, can't wait for Bibby. But like at that point, we was getting like started to get people like, illicit tonight, and that's what you want people to be going for the event, not the act really.
And I think that's where people
Obviously,
are
the
at
actor
now.
helps. Don't get me wrong. We're not saying we're never going to book fucking
No.
headliners. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Ever again.
No.
Never.
Nice
never.
winky face.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Never ever. No headliners. No headliners.
No. So yeah. So from an illicit standpoint, where are we at now? So we've got gate number 5. We've done. We did our terrace party in September with Seb Zito, Rich Next, Danny Ayres.
Then we did Halloween residence party. That was good.
Yeah.
That's when everyone had a good platform.
Again, and
good
that's
times.
because we're all producing now, we're all having our own different sound. It just reflects in all the sets. And I'll tell you something, from a music standpoint, Illicit is absolutely on point, and everyone loves where we're at. Absolutely loves it, and that is a range of ages. So you can have your people that are 18.
You're not doing it every week or every month. As
No,
well.
so when we was doing every month, it can almost get stale. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, I think we could have done longer at Tunnel if we'd have been doing less events. I think if we was only doing like the 6, 7. Do you get what I mean? Like, because I did think towards the end, the last lot of ones. Don't get me wrong, we're still doing well, and we wanted to do like that little extra change, but I did think it was getting a little bit stagnant at Tunnel. Like, you know, you start to have that feeling. But I think there was places where there's things what we weren't really liking with certain ways that the venue was running, stuff like that. Weren't they, like things like that one was having to turn up and sort that certain things on it. But I think that's just a natural thing of after you're at somewhere for so long, you have to. It's the time to move on in it. Like,
I think Tunnel especially was a time that's really helped us with Gate 5 now. So Tunnel was literally, there was nothing inside there, so we brought a sound system in, we brought lighting in, we'd got LED bars and learn how to use lighting controllers, and bringing our own decks, learning how to wire them all up properly and things like that. And Gate number 5 is like that again, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So we know how to rig up sound systems, we know how to rig up lighting setups, we know how to do
I know, if you asked a
decks.
lot of people who are promoters, they'd be like, oh, no.
No, and as well, reducing costs, there's only you doing it, so you don't have to pay someone to come in and do it at the same time.
Exactly.
So where are we at next for Illicit? We've got
Easter. We've got maybe something coming up before Easter, maybe, but we'll keep that one quiet for the minute. Then we've got Easter Sunday, and then we're looking at in June for might as well say terrace party in June.
terrace party in June, yeah.
And then from there we've got back end of summer
I've got written down here somewhere.
Yeah, and then another end of summer,
Yeah.
and then Halloween, aren't we?
Halloween.
And then we're not going to name the end of the year.
No, that's at the end of the year. So yeah, what's the plan for you, DJing wise, coming up? So you've got, well, I'll let you explain.
Doing the residency now at Secret Sessions, so I've got that. So there's 4 dates I've got at the minute, and maybe there might be 2 unannounced villa parties. So their first one's May 21st, so that's May Bank Holiday weekend, the Thursday. Then I'm doing June what's the Saturday? Is it the 13th or the 18th?
You're doing May 21st, 18th of June.
18th of June, and then it's July the 13th. 16th, and then it's August 13th. There we go, that's the one.
So people that have never heard of what Secret Sessions is, what is Secret
So,
Sessions?
they started off as just like a pop-up, kind of just random pop-up parties mainly for sort of workers. So they'd host in just random place, like a random villa or a random venue in Ibiza. So they started doing that, and then they went from kind of doing that to then booking DJs. So they've had like Detlef, Sarossian, Bibi, can't remember else. They've had like quite a few, Rossi, people like that as well. And then last year was their first year of actually doing at a venue, so they started doing that El Patio, and also they did I can't remember the name of the place in Sanham, what's near Lineker's and stuff, as like a little venue. I don't know if you've seen like some of the videos.
I've seen loads of the videos. I don't know where the location is.
So there's so then they started doing that where they're at this year again for the residency. It's at El Patio, which that's the same place where Music On do their daytime parties. So that's in Bossa, so it's near Bora Bora. I've not actually personally ever been to it, to be fair. Like, I didn't even know it was there, to be fair. Like, I've like from that venue, I always thought it was like Ibiza Townwear.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's in Bossa. It's near Jet Apartments and Bora Bora, but it's inside the actual hotel place. So yes, I'm doing the dates from there. They've done a couple of pop-up parties like in London. So they had Ben Sterling, what I did there, didn't I? That was that November or December? Start of December.
It was late. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, doing there, and then I've also got a couple of. So I'm doing Mint in a couple of weeks as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing Black with Green Velvet, and then I'm booked in at Highfields Festival as well in July, and then just a couple of other bits what are popping up here and there.
Also got you releasing on Illicit. What date's that one?
Looking for July for that, isn't it?
Yeah, so late July, early August. Get your first release on Illicit. It'll be a debut solo release as well, won't it? Debut solo release.
Yep.
So yeah, plenty to come. What if, from a social standpoint, where would we catch you?
Where would catch me?
Yeah.
Instagram, Khyle Black DJ. Facebook's Black Illicit. And then my SoundCloud's Khyle Black DJ as well.
Okay.
Word out.
Thank you for doing the first
No worries, much.
podcast.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thank
brother.
you.
Cheers, Jack.
No worries.
No worries,
Cheers.
lads.
All right.